Tell me, what are some of the mistakes you made when just quitting big box fitness? What would you have done differently? And how did you create this revenue stream and massive following?
Okay. So mistake number one was basically what you just read off there. I started getting a little bit of traction online. I was unhappy at my job. I mean, you know what it's like in the fitness world, especially early on. You know, you're working like nights, mornings, weekends, and it's really inconvenient if you have a family.
Sure.
And so I was like, well, I'll just leverage my social media following. I basically had no plan other than that I was going to. I gave my boss like a 4-week notice in order to kind of help him get me out the door and replace me. And then I just quit with no plan whatsoever. And I just expected, you know, the universe to favor me. And that did not go well.
How long did it not go well for? Because now it's going really well.
Yeah, it was about a year that I was just, and you know, and in fairness, Yoni, I was making money. I wasn't making more than I was before. Mm-hmm. And so I was basically just paying the bills with no extra. And in the grand scheme of things, I look back, you know, had I kept my job for another year and built my business on the side, it would have been a totally different outcome. You know, I would have been able to be putting money back and investing money in the business. Whereas just quitting, I was not able to do that.
Now, what jumped out at me from this statement was you stuck around to replace yourself. So I think, unfortunately, that is a rarity now where, you know, I'll get notice from a therapist and they're like, see ya, I'm out in 2 weeks. Like, and then, you know, like true sports is dead to them as if it doesn't matter. What made you care enough to say, I want to replace myself. I want to give 4 weeks. Where'd that come from?
So I genuinely, like the owner, I was at a gym called F45 and we had opened 2 studios. I'd helped open them and the owner had really kind of built the business around me. And going into it, you know, we were both naive. We didn't know like how much work it was going to be. And I knew if we brought in a young guy who wasn't married with no kids, like that schedule would be great for them. You know, They don't mind staying up late. They don't mind working weekends. And so I knew if I could find a guy like that, I could hopefully set the owner up for success going forward. And I'd put my name on it too, locally. And I really knew, like, one, you know, looking out for me, even just selfishly, you know, if people are like, well, that's the kind of guy he is, to leave a good guy high and dry, one, that hurt my reputation. And then 2, the owner was genuinely a good guy. He was good to me. It just didn't turn out to be what I thought it was going to be.
It's the True Sports Physical Therapy Podcast. Tune in. You might just learn something. Catch all of the full episodes on all streaming platforms. And as always, the link is in the bio.